18,800 crypto assets exist. 18,800. Okay, compare that to like a normal brokerage account has like 5 to 6,000 stocks available, maybe up to like 10,000, okay, if you include like penny stocks and trading over the counter, okay? 18,800. If you go to coinmarketcap.com, just one site of many, you could go to coingecko.com, random websites that list all of them, okay? 18,800. Picking crypto, picking crypto ticker symbols is arguably harder than picking stock ticker symbols. So when you're researching crypto information on YouTube and you're just getting these like deep picks, deep ticker symbol picks, that's just a really hard game. And it's just a really hard game. And not enough people talk about that. Not enough people talk about how hard of a game that is. And they don't really we've Bitcoin's been around for so many years now, and all the alternate coins have been around for so many years now that I feel like I feel like we don't even really get into like the buckets of what each of them are really anymore, and we're just like trading ticker symbols and trading ticker symbols. That's even like the concept that like a meme coin exists because there's different buckets, okay? There's different buckets. And if you don't know that yet, that makes the game even more hard of picking the right ticker symbol, okay? And this game is won by people that are like the most online, the most terminally online in the most like in the weeds group chats of people that are playing this game. Okay? And the the fact that even just like meme coins exist and are lumped in with, call it like more serious crypto, is I honestly I don't even know what to say about that really, because I don't want to come across as the like kind of like I don't want it to come across as like grumpy and saying that that's bad. I'm trying to level the playing field and withhold like a value judgment, because the problem that a lot of like, you'll hear this term Bitcoin maximalist, like if you get deep in the weeds of, again, crypto and researching it. And the problem with that, with most of those arguments, or the reason why those arguments have turned off a lot of crypto investors, is because it's very emotional driven, and it's very like emotional philosophical driven, rather than just kind of like pure play financial like driven. And a lot of people that trade crypto or and are picking ticker symbols it's just a pure profit motive, which again is not bad. Like, I'm not with like it's not bad. So if you're on the internet picking crypto ticker symbols for the purpose of creating money, or the purpose of stacking more dollars, or the purpose of like just playing that game and knowing what game you're playing, that's great. That's great. There's also another set of people though on the internet that I think are do lean more towards, again, call it value investing, or call it like alternative investing, call it like they understand the structural problems with the TradFi system as it is, and they're looking for like an alternative, and they've heard that crypto can be an alternative, but then they pull up this large list of 18,800 crypto assets, and they just view them as all the same. And it takes a long amount of time to realize the differences between all of them, actually. Um and you but you have to do that. Like, you have to you if you can't be like investing in crypto and not have an opinion about the different buckets, or not have an understanding of why kind of like each type exists. And sites like CoinMarketCap's, sites like CoinGecko, that just list them all top to bottom next to each other, I think kind of skew people's brain not necessarily in the right direction, because when you first start investing, you primarily see dollars as your base unit. You see dollars as your base unit, and you're trading out of your own pocketbook, right? And so when you see Bitcoin at 120,000, 113,000 per Bitcoin, you're like, oh, that's out of my budget. Like that's out of my budget. So then you go to a lower one that's like 50 cents or a dollar or $14 or whatever. And it's the same thing as it's literally the same thing that happens in stocks. It's like, oh, like I can't afford a whole share of Google, so I'm gonna choose this other company. And like again, because you're trying to just like you're trying to take the advice of just like buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. And so you're trying to buy things that you can buy a lot of units of. Because you're right, if you own like one full Bitcoin and it goes up $1,000, you've only quote unquote made $1,000. That's a lot. So totally, like I understand where that mentality comes from. I understand where that mentality comes from, and this is where what I think crypto needs to do a better job of is like telling the story of like why why Bitcoin and crypto is better than like the traditional stock market. And then you have to really understand like what is your base unit. Those are two things you need to answer for yourself. Before you start trying to pick ticker symbols, you have to answer those two things for yourself. Like where are you at? Where are you at on the actual like Bitcoin versus fiat money discussion? What, do you see the problems with the current fiat system, the current dollar monetary system? And do you understand how Bitcoin fixes that? And then what part of that Bitcoin network are you like is your anchor position in? Like are you establishing a position? Like I've talked on the channel about like I think 0.21. If you're out there trading crypto, picking ticker symbols, you should have 0.21 Bitcoin. Period. Because I would almost put it to you like this also, like Bitcoin is like the index fund of all of it. It is the index fund of all of it. As Bitcoin goes, it all will go. And then picking the correct ticker symbols, the winners in that pile of 18,800 is a really, really hard game. And so 0.21, the reason why that's significant, like 0.21 is a significant amount of Bitcoin because if you take 21 million divided by 0.21, you get 100 million. There's 8 billion people in the world. 100 million people can only hold 0.21 Bitcoin. You're in the top 1% of the world. And likely higher because of the amount of corporations and countries that have stacked Bitcoin. The other reason why I think like really, really fundamentally understanding Bitcoin and why it's separate from everything else, the founder is not public and likely not alive and can't, and the incentives keep the supply cap the fixed. And there's nothing else in the world. Public company, every single public company has a public founder and a way to issue more shares. Commodities have ways to bring more providers online and increase the supply. Every other of the 18,800 crypto assets, they have mechanisms for changing the supply issuance. So that's what keeps those in a different bucket. And Bitcoin truly lives apart in its own bucket. And you can have a significant part of the network still right now for a relatively inconsequential amount of fiat. And so understanding that is big. And then understanding kind of how hard the picking crypto ticker symbols game is kind of the next thing you want to learn how to do.